Hello there, beautiful people. Namaste, Sawubona. I know you guys really missed this frame. If you did, do comment down below and let me know how have you been. I am back home. I'm in New Delhi. And yeah, if you missed me here, then I missed you too. So I thought I have not done one of these in a very long time. I'm doing a sit down video. It's not a travel video for a change. I am although traveling pretty soon, so more on that. We'll talk about that in another video. So I turned 30 years old earlier this year, and I thought I'll come on here and share some its and bits. I have compiled a list of things that I have done, kind of like things that I have accomplished in my 20s before I turned 30, as well as things that I wish I had done, or maybe things that I wish I do as I move forward in my 30s. So let's begin with things that I did do before I turned 30. Also, excuse my hair. I did wash my hair today, but I did not follow it up with my curly girl routine, so it's kind of like all over the place. We will ignore that. The first thing I did this year, or like before I turned 30, was I started my YouTube channel, which was something that I had been thinking about for quite a bit. I would say easily 2-3 years ago I had been contemplating starting a YouTube channel, but you know, you always sleep on it. You always think, okay, now I'm gonna begin, and that time never really comes. So I'm really glad that I did. I started YouTube and I feel like I have kind of found my passion. I really do enjoy making these videos for you guys and for myself. It's kind of like a record of my life at this point. So number one is obviously I started my YouTube. Number two is that I went scuba diving, all right? Not exactly scuba diving because I can't swim, but I did go to Thailand last year, which is not something I documented because I had not started my YouTube channel at that point. But I did go to Thailand last December, and I didn't necessarily scuba dive, but it kind of like wore a life jacket and did have a look inside the water. And might I tell you, I am quite a water baby. I love everything related to rivers, oceans, beaches, everything of that sort. So yeah, I did look into the coral reefs and all of that jazz, and it is some of the most humbling experiences I have had in my life. It kind of makes you realize that you are just like a tiny, not even a tiny, you're like a very insignificant person in this very massive world, and it just kind of humbles you. I saw the coral reefs, I saw such beautiful creatures inside the water, and it's just kind of very humbling experience that has indeed remained with me throughout. Number three on the list is that I went home this year. I went home after 4 years. If you have watched my previous videos, you would know that I couldn't go to South Africa. I could not go home initially because of COVID, and then my parents kept visiting me, so I never really had a chance to go home. But I did eventually go home this year. I had been there for quite a bit, but I did have to come back to India for some stuff. Another thing that I did start doing before I turned 30 is I started reading again. I was quite an avid reader before I got into the corporate world, to be honest. I had a lot of time on my hands, but if you're working in the corporate sector in India, you'd know that there is nothing like work-life balance. But I am trying to strike that balance currently, and yeah, I've started reading again. It's not as frequently as I'd like it to be, but definitely a start. Another thing I learned before I turned 30 is to draw boundaries. This is still something that I'm working on. I wouldn't say that I have completely kind of mastered this art of drawing boundaries, but it's definitely a good start. I have started drawing boundaries in life in general, in relationships, in like life in general. So yeah, this is again something that I plan on incorporating in my life, even moving forward into my 30s and hopefully 40s, 50s, or however long I live. Another thing that I have kind of learned and kind of like that things that have happened before I turned 30 was that I met some people and I lost some people. The hardest lesson that I learned before I turned 30 was that, you know, you can try your best to, especially when it comes to relationships, you can do whatever you can to kind of keep that person in your life. You can give them your all, you can give them your everything, and I mean this in friendships, in like personal relationships, everything. And until and unless that person really wants you to be in their life, you cannot really do much about it. I would say the hardest lesson that I learned this year and like before I turned 30 is that you can't really, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you can literally give your all and still be rejected. All right, moving on to things that I do want to incorporate in my life henceforth after I've turned 30 is definitely number one, I want to get back into health and fitness. I was previously into like health, not fitness per se, but I was more of a healthier person before I moved to Delhi, before I moved to India, I would say, because I think that has a lot to do with the people I have in my life, and like the Indian culture in general is so food oriented that you do tend to indulge in those mithais and in the golgappe and all of that. So I have let my hand a little loose, but I do want to tighten that again because my health is just gonna take a toll if I don't, right? So I want to get back into health and fitness moving forward. Another very important thing that I do want to work on is to grow thick skin, all right? Especially now that I'm doing YouTube and just in life in general, I have the thinnest skin there can be. Like a random person can give me some kind of criticism on YouTube and it will bother me till the end of time, all right? So I do want to work on that. Growing thick skin is top priority right now, right after health. Another thing that I do want to start incorporating in my life is that I want to stop complaining, all right? Be it with my job, with my life, my relationships, everything. I don't want to be like a complainer just because other people are doing it. Like we see so many reels on Instagram and like on social media of like how people want to say this to their boss, or how people wish they could say this to their relatives. I want to stop complaining in general. I'm very happy with my job. I have joined a new company and I must say I'm very happy there. I don't want to kind of like start complaining just for the heck of it. And the last one, this is the 11th one. I know I said 10 things, but this is the 11th one, and I feel like it has more to do with personal growth because I was not this person like 5 years ago, but I have become more accepting of my culture. I did not know much about my own culture before I moved here, so I started learning. I have also started being more accepting of things that do not necessarily make sense just because they make other people happy. I want to be like, all right, if it makes them happy, even though it makes no sense, I will play along. So those are the things that I have learned before I turned 30 and some things that I wish to incorporate in my life as I move forward. Drop a comment below and let me know what are some lessons that you have learned in 2023, and let's have a little chat in the comments section. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like my content. Do share this video if you feel like some of your friends and family may enjoy my content. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.